Good afternoon, friends. Welcome back. It is a beautiful day here on the homestead. So today I want to take a quick moment. I wanted to talk about this whole Carhartt jab debacle. Now, if you're new to my channel, I'm not going to discuss things in this video, but if you've been around for any amount of time, you know where I stand in my history of healthcare, my thoughts and opinions on CV19 and the jab. If you've been paying attention to the news at all or any kind of popular current events type of thing, you know that in 2021, the Biden administration tried to pass several unconstitutional mandates. One of them being a mandate for companies that employ over 100 individuals to require a jab and proof of the jab. Along with that was the CMS regulations and guidelines from the Center of Medicare and Medicaid Services for healthcare facilities to require the jab for anybody in a healthcare system, whether it be a hospital, doctor's office, a clinic, nursing homes, assisted livings, and so on and so forth. Anybody who received Medicare or Medicaid reimbursement was required to require their employees to be jabbed or basically have a medical or a religious exemption. Now, just a couple weeks ago, the Supreme Court shot down Biden's mandate for companies with over 100 employees to require the vaccine or the jab. I've done said it, so I'm going to be shadow banned here or marked as misinformation. It's a good thing that the mandate was shot down. It really is. Unfortunately, there wasn't the Supreme Court support to regulate or change the CMS regulations. And so now the CMS guidelines are still in place and hospitals are still going to be SOL with their employment and their staff and that kind of stuff. But basically what happened is the Supreme Court knocked it down, said get it out of here. That mandate does not stand legally. And then Carhartt, the CEO of Carhartt, came out and said, hey, we don't care what the Supreme Court says. We're still going to have our own policy and mandate in place. We're going to require our employees to be jabbed. And immediately, people blew up. They were upset with Carhartt for making a decision, a private entity making a decision for its own employees. Now, I don't agree with mandates, and I don't agree with the jab. I don't think it's appropriate. I would think it'd be better to suggest it, but forcing people to get it to keep employment is kind of pathetic. But I guess it's not my place. If I worked at Carhartt or any facility that required me to do it, I would get my medical or religious exemption, or I'd say, see you later, you don't deserve my work. You don't deserve my hands, my knowledge, and my ability to grow your company. So I did a little bit of research, and this research is not set in stone, but it appears that as of 2012, this is from Wikipedia, I think, as of 2012, Carhartt employed 4,000 individuals. Now, I'm going to jump and say that's probably just U.S.-based individuals, headquarters, call centers, customer service, and that kind of stuff. Maybe their outlet stores and their factory stores and that kind of stuff. But 4,000 people isn't that many individuals to begin with. The healthcare facility I used to work in, when I started working there, averaged 12 to 1,300 individuals. When I left, I think we had like 14 to 1,500 individuals. That's not a huge number. 4,000 individuals is not that big. It is a large corporation for what it is, but there's more to that idea. And I don't think it's really been put out on the table as to who is going to be required to have that jab. And that brings me to the next thing. Now, I was talking about U.S.-based. I went to the website and I typed in Made in USA on Carhartt's website. Brings up 3 items. A certain model jacket, a certain model pants, and a certain model of bibs that are uninsulated. So according to their website, there's only 3 pieces of clothing in their entire product line that is actually made in America. And this is why people get upset, and it cracks me up. And people are right to have their opinion. I mean, I'm 100%. I'm a constitutionalist. You can have your opinion. You can do whatever you want. People are failing to realize that they're not 100% made in America. I own numerous pieces of Carhartt. And I've had my bibs and my coat, or my first bibs and coat, I've had those since I was 14 years old. I still use them to this day. They've got weld burns all over the place. They've got rub marks. They are faded as can be. I've got holes in my knees that I've sewn up over the years. I won't buy another set. Not because of this, but because Carhartt gear that has lasted this long is fantastic. So I went ahead and I looked at them the other day. Made in Mexico. Made in Mexico. Interesting how that works. Then I literally have this vest, this hat, gloves, numerous different pairs of gloves. I've got, heavy duty gloves, lightweight gloves. I've got dog collars, leashes, vests for my dogs. I mean, I've got everything Carhartt except for the Carhartt version GMC or whatever the truck that was. And out of all the equipment that I have, all the gear that I have, this hat right here, and my socks and underwear that I'm wearing right now, Carhartt, by the way. Those are the only things. Made in USA. Anything that's knitted, basically, is what's made in USA. This jacket right here, I'm going to have to go up here so you people can read. Made in India! My wife recently, at the end of 2021, in December, bought a new jacket with this same lining here. Whatever, I don't know what they call it. It's kind of like woolly. Made in India. She got it, and I was like, hey, I like that jacket. I want to get a new one. More of a dressy type jacket rather than my old work jacket. And it's made in India. Actually came in 3 days after the CEO made the announcement that they were going to require the jab. People are upset, right, with Carhartt. They're burning their stuff they've paid for. They are ripping this little tag off. As if Carhartt really cares. I mean, you want to call it boycott, or the one thing that hypocrites like to say, cancel culture. There wasn't first, double standards. Most people wouldn't have any standards. And I'm trying to do this without being a hypocrite by saying, I'm still going to keep this. I don't agree with what Carhartt has done. I don't agree with mandating the jab. I don't agree with the jab to begin with. But as a private company, it's their decision. Where do people draw the line? And is this really a hill to die on? I mean, there's numerous companies and numerous things you deal with day in and day out that it seems like it's supposed to be for the American blue-collar working man. It seems that it's supposed to be made in America. Yeah, sure, it's an American company, but a lot of stuff is not made in America anymore. I mean, let's look right here. Tipton Gun Supplies. These are brushes and jigs, jags, whatever they are. Tipton, American company. Made in China. I mean, I don't know where to start and stop. I mean, there's so many different things that are, American companies. They're supposed to be, up for the American people. And they're made in foreign countries. So I went to our local hardware store, farm supply store, and I looked at numerous things. Ariat, American company. The only thing I could find in store that was actually made in America, stocking caps. The rest of it was made in Indonesia. I mean, Carhartt's, they range their shirts, their undershirts. They range from Malaysia, China, Sri Lanka, Guatemala, and there was a couple other small countries there. They're not made in America. Yes, they're supposed to be for the American man, American blue-collar individual. So that's what their motto, or basically their mantra, should be, catering to, but it's not. It's just what it is. Here it is in 2022, and people are surprised to find out that companies don't support them as much as they want to support them. And if you've been paying attention, you would have noticed this, 2.5, 3 years ago, when Carhartt started being like a symbol for hipsters, for people who have never worked a day in their life or done, that people who want to wear Carhartt shit without doing Carhartt shit. Okay, people who are wearing this in the city, they're not wearing it to work. They're wearing it for a symbol, and it just takes off. And people turn it into a style. It's like wanting to wear Ariat jeans and boots, right? An American company. And then you go to the Buckle in the mall. Thank God I don't have one around here. But the Buckle is like, it's just that it's like a city slicker, country boy, or like it's the mall crawler of the Jeep world, right? You jacked up your Jeep and you put big old wheels on it, but it's never seen a day of dirt in its life. That's what Ariat is turned into, and Carhartt is turning into, and all these high-end country cowboy, working man companies, and people are surprised. That was step one of the company turning woke, was people picking up their stuff and turning it into a fad. And it just cracks me up that people are surprised about it. But am I gonna burn my gear? Gonna remove the tags because I don't want to be seen wearing Carhartt, or I don't want to be seen to be a woke person? Well, I can guarantee you that, number one, when I'm wearing this stuff, I'm not just wearing it for a fad. I'm working in it. It's getting dirty. It's getting dirt and mud and poo on it, and all these other. It's just funny that this is the hill that people are willing to die on. And like I said, you're free to do whatever you want to do with your stuff. You paid for it. But Carhartt doesn't care that you're burning their stuff you paid for. They don't really care that you're removing the tags off of this. I mean, this one's not getting worn down, but I can tell you that my first set of bibs and jackets that I've ever had, those tags are all but gone from just years and years and years of work and sitting on the ground and all kinds of stuff. They get worn and torn if you actually use them how they're supposed to be used. But yeah, let's be upset about it. I mean, we can look at companies left and right and see what they've done. Levi Jeans, it's an American-made company, right? But I can guarantee you they don't agree with your politics. Patagonia, it's a pretty West Coast left-wing style clothing. You can boycott, cancel them all you want. They don't care. I mean, where are we? Ben and Jerry's. They're extreme left-wing, outspoken, anti-American people. Yet people are still eating their ice cream, and they don't care about the politics of it. But a lot of people are willing to die on that hill. There's so many things happening in our states, in our nation in whole, in our world, that people are worried about a frickin' tag. I don't know. And it's just, I see more and more of these people just being irrational about it. And there becomes a point where you just got to say, you know what? Do I have standards or do I not? And I have standards. My standard is I'm going to keep on wearing my stuff. It's stupid to be burning it. I don't care if it says Patagonia, Carhartt, Nike, Adidas, what other woke company. If I like the product, I'm going to get the product. If it works for me, I'm going to get it. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure I've got something from a company that's, supposedly pro 2A, and they said something one time. It was, I own Ruger firearms. I've got, several of them. Bill Ruger was like a big proponent of magazine limits over 10 rounds. That's why the 10/22 comes with a 10-round mag. That's why Ruger didn't start making mags that were over 10 rounds until the last 5, 6 years, 7 years, however long it's been since the BX-25 came out. And people are surprised about Carhartt. I mean, there's a chance that the CEO could come back and say, you know what, we were wrong. That's not very intelligent. I hope he does. Because he's going to mandate that jab for the people who make this stuff in India, Malaysia, Mexico. Probably not. They're all sweatshops anyways. I digress. That's just my thoughts and opinions on the matter. And for what it's worth, there it is. I'm going to keep my stuff and keep on wearing it and go with it. Anyways, keep calm and carry on, guys. Stay safe, and I'll see you around.